air for a moment, so I'm setting it back up. I think we definitely are on the air now again. Let me get the
Oh
recorder
yeah,
going
but like
here.
I said, it would have been nice. Would have been nice
But
to
like I
have
said, well,
tomorrow one.
well, yeah. Well, we'll say this that Ty is still available out of UT here, as the Nationals are now on the clock. We are waiting, so wait and see who they are going to take.
Uh,
Go with
they should have. If they would have taken, they would have got Kumar, and I would have been happy.
yeah.
But well, hopefully there's probably going to be. Well, they could go. I mean, Ty Madden's still there. I mean, I think is it Sam Bagman? Is he still there? Oh no, he's gone.
Sam Bachman was taken by Bachman
Gone.
was taken by the
Well,
Angels.
there's like no, there's
I would say
Callie
right, yeah,
Watson.
I'd say right now the best pitching prospect right now still is Ty Madden. Probably wait and see who they are going to take. Like I said, the Nationals, they might be in a position where they might be just looking for pure talent right now because, like I said, they're not a terrible team right now yet. They still have some of their issues. They have but
Yeah,
uh
it's injuries right now. That's what it is. It's injuries at this point.
uh-huh. But anyway, but like I said, everything kind of just went crazy for a while there after we got people like Colton Cowser and Frank Mazzucato taken with top 10 picks in the draft. Let's go back
But yeah,
over, let's go back over what the top 10 picks were. Pittsburgh Pirates with number 1 take Davis Henry, catcher out of Louisville. Number 2 pick, Texas Rangers, Jack Leiter out of Vanderbilt University. Number 3, the Detroit Tigers take Jackson Jobe out of Heritage Hall in Oklahoma City. Number 4, Boston Red Sox take Marcelo Meyer out of Eastlake High in California. Number 5, one of the big shockers here, the Baltimore Orioles took Colton Cowser out of Sam Houston State University. The Arizona Diamondbacks then take Jordan Lawler, out of a shortstop out of Jesuit College Prep in Dallas, Texas. The Kansas City Royals take Frank Mazzucato, a left-handed pitcher, out of East Catholic High School in Connecticut. The Colorado Rockies took Benny Montgomery, a outfielder out of Redland High School in Pennsylvania. The Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles Angels, whatever they want to be called now, took Sam Bachman, pitcher out of Miami of Ohio. And with the 10th pick, the New York Mets took, sadly, the guy my colleague wanted the Nationals to get, Kumar Rocker.
So close.
Out of Vanderbilt,
so close.
Tennessee.
It was one pick away.
It really was the case of the Dallas Cowboys fans and Patrick Surtain, as everyone was pining for the Cowboys to get Surtain in the NFL draft. And then the Denver Broncos snatched him up before then. But now, yes, Duke's Washington Nationals are on the clock. Have to wait and see.
And still, there's still good players there. Some good stuff here. And if you can't get the best pitcher, I'll say get the next best thing, either Ty Madden or Kelly Watson. Get some shortstop would be nice. I mean, we don't need pressing need, because I think Trey Turner is he's still doing great things. So I think hold up on that or whatever. But so yeah, it's going to be. I think it's just going to be a. I think it's going to be Ty Wilson. I think that's what's going to happen. That's what it is. So, but that's what I think it is. Oh, by the way, if you want, looking at conventions and such. Guess what is it is a 10, I believe it's an anniversary, a 7-year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, of one of the most infamous conventions of the past, for the 2010s. It is DashCon, believe it or not. It is the 7th year anniversary of DashCon, which is started at July 11th, 2014. Oh, that is amazing. And they still, I think some are still trying so far to get that, trying to get that thing up again. And yet, sadly, that lovable ball pit meme, will always be there in our hearts.
Meanwhile, but let's see what.
Also,
I'm sure Duke and others might be interested in this. just getting underway is Game 3 of the NBA Finals. And not exactly an up and down, lights out affair going right now. There's about a little more than 9 minutes to go in the first period, and Milwaukee holding a 5-4 lead over the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix currently have a 2-0 lead in that series, and it looks like Milwaukee might be trying to slow down the pace now and try to just find some way to get back into this series.
Oh, by the way, guess who's refereeing the game? By the way, Scott Foster. So, yeah, the Suns are not going to win this game. They're not winning. But anyway, they're gonna, oh man, they're gonna drag this thing through Game 7. I believe that. I truly believe this is gonna be a Game 6 to Game 7 series.
We'll wait and see on that. Again, meanwhile, like I said, we are still waiting for the Washington Nationals to make their pick with the number 11 spot in this year's MLB draft. They will be followed by the Seattle Mariners, then Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Milwaukee will complete the first half of the first round with the top 15 picks of this draft.
Well, Jack Leiter is doing an interview on MLB saying he's happy to get there and hopefully wearing a nice Rangers jersey. So
yeah, everybody. In my Twitter feed right now, so far been a mix of everybody celebrating Jack Leiter getting picked, and also wondering if he might choose to go back to college because of him getting picked by the Rangers. Or what now?
No, he's like, you know what? I'm going to stay with he is wearing a Rangers jersey. So maybe he's just trying, this is so nice. I'm humbled and everything else. And then, that's great. And then after the interview, he's like, oh, screw it. I'm out. That's good. I'm staying to college, by the way.
Crap.
I
think maybe $7.79 million reasons why he may choose to sign with the Rangers, as that's his apparently projected value, contract value as the number 2 pick. I don't think this is a situation where, I don't think he's going to care about the supposed infamous history of the Rangers developing prospects. I'm thinking, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do much better than the number 2 pick overall, so I'm going to sign and give the money now.
but he looks overwhelmed. But the chat is like, oh gosh, he's just like, the chat's thinking that, you know what, this is like, he looks like defeated. I'm like, no, he's overwhelmed. I mean, that's what it is. He's not like, oh gosh, what am I doing here in my life? But no, he looks happy. He's actually overwhelmed and happy being a part of this organization. Even though the Rangers' pitching history, not actually good.
Yeah, all you know is probably the best pitching project we've ever developed out of our own organization is probably C.J. Wilson. Of course, we did have Dave Stewart, but he ended up hanging out elsewhere. Maybe Kevin Brown, who basically had to part ways just because of his attitude, and then he ends up being lights out so many other places. That's just the luck our organization has had. Almost.
Or draft a pitcher that has no arm relative to pitching.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what happens when you don't have good management, boys and girls. But anyway, let's look at the pick is, see if it's they say the pick is in, but they are probably just sitting around and waiting until this whole thing. Because, oh wow, his family was actually, he was his dad, I think 4th round by Baltimore. Al Leiter was rounded by New York. And I think Martin Leiter Jr., I think his whole family's a baseball family. So yeah.
Believe me, at least for one day, Rangers Twitter seems to be, for the most part, thinking positive because the club finally did something they wanted to do.
Actually do something competently, and hopefully they develop them. If not, well, hey, like I said, honestly, there's always other teams, they'll just drop and just it just roll out to other teams or whatever. Kind of like what Baltimore did. There was some Baltimore pitchers that just when they left to become great.
Believe me. 15-14 the lead now for the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 1 of the NBA Finals about just a little.
Goodness gracious! I wish that was the final score. I want them to not shoot any more baskets just to see if they'd be like, just to see that. I'm like, oh gosh.
We're about halfway through the first period in that game so far for the 15-14 score. But yeah, the Nationals are really
they're not
I don't know if they're doing this for television because of the light.
Probably it is.
But yeah, the Nationals so far seem to be really taking their time, or like I said, MLB itself is taking their time in making the announcement of this.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's probably just TV time.
I mean, MLB is still pretty new to this whole trying to televise and make their draft an event thing. For whatever.
But that's the problem, is that they're doing catch up instead of looking upon, highlighting their positives and just trying to copy. The whole draft setup is trying so hard to be the NFL. It's like, come on, you're not the NFL. You're never going to be the NFL. Do what you do well, and actually just, sure, there's some like notes you can crib off a bit, but here it is. Try to be be as individual and different.
There is some I will say there is some difficulties they're having to deal with.
Wow. It looks like they drafted Brady House, shortstop, for the Nationals. So he was ranked 8.
Out of Winder Barrow High School in Georgia. Yeah, another one of those high school shortstop prospects that they took.
And I'm confident because the Nationals do well in house. So yes, he's 6'4". He actually looks could be someone of a very, I think could be something really good. I'm not saying he's going to take over Trey Turner's spot, but no, he's not. But yeah, I think he could be something very very interesting because he looks like he has a nice swing. So
that's going to move it now to the Seattle Mariners, who have the number 12 pick. A club they're not doing terribly so far in this season. They finished the first half.
He wants to be like Mike Trout.
48-42, 6.5 games back of the Astros. Who knows what's doing, but like I said, this is... Still got the pitcher out of Texas that has yet to be drafted. Wait to see whether they end up going and taking him.
But he was originally going to be in the Rockies, so I did have at least somewhat of a hope of actually being a part of maybe a position change. I don't know, but I think this could be something good for Brady House. But anyway, the Mariners, who was the only team in the Major League Baseball that has not gotten to the World Series. Which, is sad because that team should be, what I'm saying, the Mariners could have been great.
Again, this is just the bratty kid in me, but still part of me has to giggle and laugh at that because I grew up, we had to face those Mariners in the 1990s, and it just always kind of irked me. And it actually just plays into, I will admit this kind of plays into the problem that I think baseball is kind of having, and they don't know how to deal with it, is the fact that back in those 1990s Mariners teams, you had guys like Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson and Jay Buhner and Edgar Martinez and all these, and the people at ESPN were so wanting that team to win the World Series. They were flat out cheering for them, which was a problem for me because my Rangers were facing up against those guys, and we ended up beating them first in 1996 and then 1998 before things started falling apart. And probably the best irony came in the last game of the first half of the 1998 season when Juan Gonzalez homers off of Randy Johnson to finish the first half of the season with 101 RBI. It was just one of the greatest moments I ever got to see in person in my life. And then, of course, Randy Johnson was gone to Houston at the end of that month. So, yeah, part of me kind of laughs at the fact that back in 1996, it seemed like MLB and ESPN were wanting to hand the World Series over to the Seattle Mariners, and here we are 25 years later, and they're still now the only team to never
2000 and 2001, I thought, with all their stuff, everything, and then to lose to the Yankees like that, I don't think they've ever gotten over that series loss. Oh, yeah. I don't think that's a thing that have basically broke them, and I don't think I don't know if they even addressed it yet. It's like they maybe addressed it, but that franchise is still in that limbo, and
but this goes back to basically what I was saying. Is the number one problem baseball seems to have is that so many other sports, especially the NBA, even like the NFL, which is still much more, almost as much of a team-oriented game as baseball, while you need so many other moving parts, those leagues still manage to find a way to get their biggest names and biggest top charismatic drawing cards into the playoffs and into their championship rounds. With baseball, you had, like I said, you had it in the 90s with those Mariners teams with Griffey and Randy Johnson and everyone. And now you've got the Angels of today with Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. There's just seems to be almost a problem where they never seem to get their biggest names onto their biggest stage. And there's something it tears me back.
To be fair, I don't want to be a homer. I mean Anthony Rendon, Mike Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Juan Soto. I mean, they're it is you can find names and the way they built them up. I mean, the Nationals, when they won the World Series, they had names and they built them up, and there you are. And honestly, I believe the stars will come out when you put pressure on them and you put them in that position.
Meanwhile,
that's what it is.
The pick is in. The Seattle Mariners have taken Harry Ford, a catcher out of North Cobb High School in Georgia.
And by the way, Nationals fans are happy for the most part, even though they just wanted Kumar Rock. They wanted him so bad. They wanted him. They were like, please, come on. And they couldn't get it. But you know what?
So it seems like nobody in the Beltway is happy right now.
They're not angry. They're like, they do like Brady House. They do think he's a really good player. They just see him moving to third.
I'll change it this way. The Nationals fans are just slightly disappointed, while the Orioles fans are basically are wanting to march in the streets right now.
At this point, no, they're just apathetic at that point. I've seen the Oriole fans; they're just apathetic of this franchise. And meanwhile, the Nationals, I think, like I said, Brady House will probably move to third base or whatever, because I think he can do that. Trey Turner, hopefully he re-signed him, because I think he's probably one of the best shortstops in the entire league. Seriously, just look at the stats. And honestly,
give you one more score update here. The Phoenix Suns have now just taken a 20-19 lead over the Milwaukee Bucks with a little more than 4 minutes to go in the first quarter of Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
Let me look at more and see it is. Looking at it, they're saying, wow, it's a lot more positive. They got the best power in the draft in Brady House. It looks like they're going to look. A lot of people are doing, saying he has the highest upsides of any position player in this draft. He looks like it's this is a lot of people are about positive. He's got great, like I said, one, I think Mark Zuckerman, local news guy here, says Brady House is only the second position player the Nationals have used with their first pick in their last 8 drafts. The other was Carter Kaboom and another high school shortstop from Georgia. So they do have they don't usually pick these type of position players. So they must have looked at him and said, you know what? If we can't get this guy, we need to get this person right here. Just like someone you can really be like, wow, this looked like to be someone to be very special.
So like I said, so it looks like Duke's Washington Nationals fan base seems at least satisfied with taking Brady House with the 11th pick. I can tell you for certain that Texas Rangers fans down here, they're giddy in the streets, dancing jigs, happy that the Rangers took who everyone wanted. They got Jack Leiter, the top pitching prospect, out of Vanderbilt. We're coming up on 7:30 here on Rowdy Live. Really want to thank everybody who's tuned in to this to this coverage of the MLB draft. I think this might actually wrap it up for us. We probably need to take a break from this anyway. We did get through the first 12 picks of the draft. Maybe we'll find a way to go this longer, maybe next year sometime.
Yeah,
If
and also
if anything will allow me to maybe do some more sports streams, maybe it might start next year if I'm able to get some sell some things down and get some full-time television coverage again, so I can follow more easily. Just wait and see. I'm just trying to slowly add in maybe some of these sports streams to go with regular Rowdy Lives. But
it's fun, and hopefully you can because I'm might do some stuff later, all that stuff, but but hey, it's nice joining you.
Yeah.
Nice having these lovely conversations because they're awesome. And again, a lot of people. I mean, I don't want to go on Orioles Twitter again because that just feels like depression. But I mean, I'm at the nice place here with the Nationals draft, which is a lot of people are just happy at this moment. They're just satisfied, but also, looks like they're going to be something, hopefully positive, and hopefully they re-sign Trey Turner. That's the one thing people are just hoping for during this whole thing, including myself, is that, this draft pick does not mean the end of Trey Turner's, great run here in the Nationals. Please.
So anyway, just keep in mind, hopefully we will have our regular Rowdy live stream back next Sunday. Hopefully I have some things I planned out here. Of course, the Summer Spectacular continues on TV Trash. We'll have the new video posted up tomorrow. But once again, thanks to anyone who tuned in, especially thanks to Duke CT for joining us on this stream. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything in regards to the trade deadline. Maybe not. We'll wait and see on that. But definitely thanks to everyone who tuned in. Hopefully we'll be back next time. Thanks to Duke CT. Thanks to all the viewers tuning in.